Dobry wieczór. William here. This week, we're bringing you the third and last of 3 interviews I recorded in Poland about reasons to visit particular regions of the country. Already, we've had Sandra Paukszta tell us about Gdansk and its environs. And last week, Katarzyna Tomaszewska told us about wonderful Torun. This week, Aleksandra Paukszta, who's a local tour guide, but also someone with almost an addiction to travelling herself, tells us all about Poznań. It's a city with a population of over 500,000 people and is the administrative capital of the Wielkopolska Voivodeship. Up to 1.4 million people live in the wider metropolitan area. Poznań is an important economic centre in west central Poland. I particularly loved the beautiful Old Town and Ostrów Tomski districts. So, let's hear from Aleksandra. We're joined today by Poznań tour guide Aleksandra Paukszta. Thank you, Aleksandra, for taking the time to speak with Hello Irlandia. So let's start by telling our listeners a little about the history of Poznań. I understand the city spent much time under German rule.
Yes, actually over 100 years under the Prussian rule, until we gained independence as a result of the Greater Poland Uprising, which started in 1918. That's something which is really extraordinary history of Poland. We did fight for our independence, and our uprising was actually successful. In the history of Poland, we've had many different uprisings. Most of them were lost, but here in Poznań, we managed to fight and to lead a successful uprising. Then the Treaty of Versailles officially confirmed that Poznań will join the new Polish state.
Yes, so I have history very familiar to Irish listeners in terms of failed uprisings ultimately leading to success. Our history is very much along similar lines indeed. So what would you say are the main reasons why someone should visit Poznań?
One of the first reasons would be, of course, its history. Poznań was one of the oldest Polish cities. We can say that basically the Polish state was born here. In the Poznań Cathedral, there are tombs of the first Polish rulers. Poznań is also a city in which the first manifestations against the communist regime took place, the Greater Poland Uprising that I mentioned earlier. But also, it's not only about the past, but also about the present. I think it's a very vibrant city. There is much to do. The food scene is getting more and more interesting here. Many people actually come to Poznań to try new restaurants, new bars. And some people compare Poznań a bit to Berlin, with districts similar to Kreuzberg, when you can just walk and there's plenty of restaurants led by the locals.
So what's your own favourite event or attraction in Poznań? I believe it may be connected to your hobby of running?
Yeah, so I like running, and I think running is a great way to explore new cities. In Poznań, there are many green areas, so you can run in the beautiful Stadela, around the Malta Lake, in Rusałka, Strzeszynek neighborhood. But I actually like a lot Termy Maltańskie, big aquapark, the biggest in Poland at the moment. It has both an indoor and outdoor part, and it's great both in the summer and the winter time.
And finally, do you have any interesting story or fact about Poznań which you'd like to share with our listeners? I'm particularly intrigued about these 2 billy goats, whom I believe are the emblem of Poznań. Would you like to tell us a little of the story of that?
Yeah, so 2 billy goats are a symbol of Poznań. You can see them all over the city. For example, in the coat of arms of our football team. And it's all because of a legend of what happened here in the 16th century. It was a big celebration where a cook was preparing a big meal. He was quite nervous, and he actually dropped meat into the fire just before having to serve it. So he decided to figure something out. He went outside to grab the first edible animal he would find. He found 2 billy goats, brought them to the kitchen, but actually they managed to escape. They ran all the way to the tower. The cook decided to chase them, and when he got to the tower, he actually noticed that there was fire somewhere in Poznań. Thanks to goats, it was really not noticed quite quickly, and the cook, he notified other people who managed to save the city. So we say that billy goats kind of saved Poznań, and in order to say thank you to them, we've added them to the mechanism of the clock in the town hall, and every day at midday you can see 2 billy goats batting their heads exactly 12 times.
Thank you very much for that story indeed, and dziękuję, Aleksandra. I hope that after this series, non-Polish listeners especially feel well motivated to visit the various regions of Poland. Personally, I couldn't have enjoyed my visit this year any more. Dobranoc.